Performers and Achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Raj Gavurla. In today's episode, I'm discussing the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics. Let me start with the Super Bowl. The Seahawks won. However, this episode is called Examples of the Zone and the Zone Effect. So what is the zone? Well, the zone is when you're performing, and as you perform, everything's at regular speed. However, for you, it's as if you're in complete command. There's no friction, there's no resistance. And then the zone effect, or you're the zone effect, is, or you're the zone and the zone effect is when you have teammates. You have teammates. So the Seattle Seahawks, as they were playing, they were in command of most of the game. Each player exhibited the zone and the zone effect, including the coaches. Of course, the fans are there as well. They're aware of the fans. They recognize the fans are watching. So there are specific plays, specific moments that occurred. And the players, the zone and the zone effect for each player is a little different. A little different. For example, someone that's on the line has the zone and the zone effect. That's a little different than maybe the person next to them or the person playing DB or the people playing DB or the linebackers or the person playing quarterback, running back, wide receiver, slot receiver. Then they have their coaches, the head coach, they have their position coach, they have other coaches. So in your the zone and the zone effect, it's not just you being aligned with everyone else. It's you're performing as well as performing, being in line with everyone else, your coaches, your teammates. And that's how you create or you experience or let your the zone and the zone effect happen. So in watching the Super Bowl, I sense the zone and the zone effect. Basically started from the beginning all the way through to the end of the game. They had command of the game, whether it was the offense just making simple plays, running the ball, protecting the quarterback, or the defense putting pressure on their quarterback, making sacks, or the DBs defending, or the linebackers tackling. It was as if each player's performance was aligned with each one of their teammates' performance. And it's really beautiful to watch, actually. It's almost like going to a symphony. There's those moments you just watch and you just like maybe even cry out of joy and happiness and just amazement on the beautiful sound and how it all synchronizes and is aligned and how it flows. And that's what I sensed. That's what I saw. That's what I felt. That's what I listened to and heard. And I watched the Super Bowl. Then during the Olympics, it's very similar. There are so many examples. Michaela Schifrin, that's the zone. On previous podcasts, I talked about that a little bit in the giant slalom. Her run in the giant slalom, that's the zone. How about Alyssa Liu, ice skating, figure skating, that's the zone. And when you heard her talking, she is very well aware of the crowd. It actually makes it simpler for her to perform in the zone because that's what she's there for. Whereas with Michaela, she also had the crowd, but not quite like that. However, one of her friends was there who's never been to the Olympics before to watch her in person. She's aware of that. She recognizes that. And sure, even though it wasn't a team gold medal for each one of them, they were still there watching their teammates. Michaela was listening to the Team USA skiing radio, what the slope was like. What's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? Snow doesn't always stay the same. The slope doesn't always stay the same. There's always little adjustments being made. And she aligned that. Same with Alyssa Liu. She was watching her teammates on this ice. The ice doesn't skate the same way each time. She makes slight adjustments, like driving a car. You're always making slight adjustments. How about the women's gold medal? Each one of them were in the zone and the zone effect. Went into overtime. Overtime. Golden goal. And then how about the men's hockey team? Zone and the zone effect. Went into overtime. Golden goal. Keep thinking, especially when you're thinking of the Seahawks and you're thinking of USA women's hockey, USA men's hockey. That how could they not cover someone streaking down the left side of the ice who's wide open? Body right in front of the goal. As far as the USA men's hockey team, probably had to do with there was 3-on-3, not including the goalkeeper. And once there was an advantage, endurance starts to play a role. Lots of things start to play a role, and he was able to find a crease. And as they were going after the puck, he was able to slide into that crease wide open, right in front of the goal, which I call in soccer the center of the finishing third, right into the net. You know, it's hockey match. It's beautiful to see. She received her teammate, the puck from her teammate. This is a defender doing this. Makes a 1v1 move. She was defended. She just made a 1v1 move, competitive move. Took competitive advantage with that move, created space, shot it in. Amazing. That's there, the zone and the zone effect. And I could almost guarantee you, if you talk and interview to each one of those players and ask them what the zone and the zone effect was, there may be some commonalities, but each would be different. And as far as Michaela Schifrin in her the zone and Alyssa Liu in her the zone, they talked about it some. If you listen to the interview, it was just aligning, making slight adjustments to what the ski slope was informing her or communicating to her as she was skiing down. She was receiving and being aligned with that, almost as if she's one with it. And then with Alyssa Liu, again, for some people, it's easier when other people are actually watching. It's simpler. For some people, it's not. But they're performers. And so she's there, just like Michaela Schifrin and any performer. When people watch, they are aware and they perform. And they show their performance, them performing to whomever it is. It becomes more than about them, like most things in this world. And then how about Jordan Stoltz? That's amazing. The zone, the zone. He wins his first gold medal. And I'm pretty sure on his second gold medal, after one of the other skaters set an Olympic record. He set an Olympic record in that event. So, in order for Jordan Stoltz to win the gold medal, he needed to set an Olympic record, one greater than the person who was just basically previously went right before him in this event. And he did. That is the zone, is the zone. And after they interviewed him, and when they interviewed him, as most people know, there's specific targets they're looking at. They see their target. They look at where they are. They might even be able to see a clock or a timer. And they probably have their own timer internally with them. They're aware of, what it feels like to go at a certain speed, distance, etc. Which again, when it's there, the zone, or there, the zone effect, time and distance are not involved. Not involved. However, on that last lap, you use motivational self-talk, something to the effect of put the hammer down. There you went, he said, an Olympic record to break the previous Olympic record set in the same event on the same day. That's his the zone. And there's probably a little bit of the zone effect going on with him as well, just like with anyone, even though Michaela and Alyssa Liu are individual performers, they have coaches, they're aware of that, they have teammates, crowd. And with Jordan Stoltz, his coaches there, his coaches looking at how fast he goes around one lap, where he is with the time, right? And then he won a silver. And then he was almost finished in the bronze in the mass start. And that's amazing. Those are highlights. Now, here's what's the most important about Dare the Zone or Dare the Zone and the Zone Effect. And really, how is it relevant, relatable to you? Well, because regardless of who you are, regardless of what age, what level you are at, you also have your the zone. And you also have your the zone effect. I could probably almost watch every one of those events, regardless of where each athlete finished, and identify and sense. And they probably could too when they reflect back on them at themselves performing at the Olympics. They're the zone, and they're the zone, and the zone effect. How about the bobsledder? And I know I'm leaving some people out. How about the bobsledder? 4/10 of a second between gold and silver. 4/10 of a second. This Olympics, Team USA had the most medals that it's ever had in the Winter Olympics. Norway had the most. And other countries to finish wherever they finished. And this is what's essential and important to keep in mind. Progression is more enjoyable. Progression is more fun. So they take that to zone. They're the zone effect. Experience, performance. Now to their next event, to the next time they participate. And you do similar. So when you're reflecting, and maybe even while you're performing, recognize or be aware of letting yourself the zone and the zone and the zone effect occur. That's what I have for you today. If you like my podcast, like it. For those of you who are interested in my private, personal, professional, confidential services and programs, visit my website, rajgavurla.com. Fill out the brief form, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And please indulge me. I know I left off some gold medal performances, silver medal performances, bronze medal performances of Team USA. And also, I know that I pointed out mostly Team USA. However, I did not do that just because I myself am not aware of all of them, and it would take a lot longer to do all of that. And probably the most important thing, as I watched, was the sportsmanship and sportswomanship and being able to represent their sport and their country. And that in itself is each person's the zone, and each person's the zone and the zone effect. Enjoy your day.